Hello, beach friends. We are going to have a lovely view today, but when I'm not looking at how gorgeous my surroundings are, I will be looking down, hunting down turbans. I came to Honeymoon Island specifically to look for turban shells. Now, normally, of course, I'm going to see what else is here. If there's anything interesting, I'm definitely going to be picking that up. We will be examining that as well. But I did specifically come up here to get chestnut turbans. I had a little project I was working on, and I wanted my husband to also see this beach. So I brought him up here. We got here bright and early. The park does open at 8. So we got here, I don't know, about 8:05. I have about a 3-hour drive to get up here. Now, the tide was a little weird today. From the time we got here until about 11:13, the tide's going to be going out. It'll hit low tide at 11:13 and then come back in again. So it is what it is. I'm just going to wander around looking for these turbans. Like I said, specifically, the turbans are what I'm looking for. Now, there hopefully will be other treasures as I'm wandering down the beach. And like I said, we will examine those. So we're just going to have ourselves a fun time at this beautiful park looking for seashells. So if you're ready to see what's out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Now, I do like to shell in the water. That's probably one of my favorite places to go shelling, but the conditions are not always conducive for that kind of shelling. Like you can't see, so it's really hard to shell. Yeah, so I kind of gave up there. I'm gonna go where I can actually see what I'm looking for. So it looks like I got a lovely shark eye. So shark eye is a moon snail. So I can call that a moon snail and I would be right. I call it a shark eye and I would still be right. Oh, now this was funny. Is that a weird little ribbed cantharus? Is that what that is? I don't think it's a brand new shell. Like that side, the aperture, it looks just like a really weird ribbed cantharus. Weigh in for me. If you have any idea, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. So that, now I know what this is. It is not a sundial. That is a long spire star shell. Kind of cool. I do not get those at my normal beach. I am normally down much more south of Honeymoon Island. That is an albino prickly cockle. Oh, neat. Neat that you have them up here too. It's not, if it was in better condition, I would keep that. Oh, is that turban good? Yeah, that looks good to me. So the entire time I'm here, I will be picking up turbans. Lots and lots of them. There we go. Another turban? Yes. And I came here, oh heck, I think March maybe, and it was so fun. So I really wanted my husband to also experience this beach. We have a lot of bay scallops, all right, a piece of a bay scallop. But at least I know I was guaranteed to have those turbans. Here we have a jingle. I like to look at the opposite side because this shell, like the moon shell and the shark eye, this is a jingle or a baby's foot. So it's got a little baby's foot marking on the back. And I will not show you every single turban I pick up. I promise. I'll try to reserve it for just the ones that I find particularly awesome. All right, what else is here? Okay, we've definitely established there are turbans here. And that's kind of fun, frankly. I think that's fun that no matter when you come to this beach, you're gonna find turbans. All right, so that is a true tulip piece. So we know that true tulips could be here. A cross-barred Venus clam. I also get those down by my normal beaches, which are much, much south of here. Normally Sanibel, Fort Myers, maybe down to the Marco area. Turban. Oh, yes. And so the operculum of the turbans was something else I also had a hankering to look for. So that is the operculum from the chestnut turban shell. I am in love with the little spiral on the inside, almost that golden rectangle looking spiral. All right, auger, wow, nice looking auger. It's a common auger, a button shell. Aren't those adorable? I'm glad it's called. It does look like a little button. A chestnut turban one. Yep, that'll pass the muster just fine. All right, little pieces and whatnot. What about that one? That one's good. Or this one? That one looks pretty good. It's a big one. Yep, that's a nice looking turban. Now, I will say though, if I were up in Honeymoon Island, I could see after shelling, many months and or years and seeing that same shell that I would start maybe not seeing them or collecting them. I have that here at my beaches. There's certain shells that I don't even see them. Not that. The lettered olive I always see. Especially those really shiny ones. That one is likely not. Yeah, I had a feeling that was not going to pass the really shiny olive test. So what else? All right, as much as I want to be in the water, I'm having a better time kind of collecting the shells up on the rack line. So here I am back in the rack line, picking up some scallops, some bay scallops. Lovely. Bay scallops and turbans. I'll grab that and a bay scallop and a turban. Oh, bummer. Color so pretty. Urgh. Oh, another button snail. Lovely. They're cute. They are cute, those button snails. No shocker here. Lots of turbans. Yay, that's what I'm here for. Oh, nice. Now, yellow is one of those colors I only really get to see with the yellow prickly cockle. So it's nice to see a yellow bay scallop. The bay scallops up here are actually absolutely stunning. Oh, there's yellow. There's a buttercup lucine. I guess I stand corrected because I do have those down by me as well. But still, it's rather on the rare side. Finding, yellow. Buttercup lucines. Another star shell. Does it have like spines or a long spire star shell? I'm looking for one. Yeah. Man, I kind of want, it'd be nice if it was in good shape. Honeymoon Island it's very rocky. They had, somebody had the idea of making this into like a resort area and brought in a lot of rock. That is an apple murex. Fantastic. So I guess I'm not really surprised that a lot of the shells get beat up. They have a lot of rocks to traverse before they actually get onto the beach proper. So checking the water line, checking that rack line. Anything? Let's see. Crossbarred Venus clams. It looks like a very beat up one of those star shells. Yeah, you're run of the mill stuff. Just as well I'm up in the upper rack line. Either way. Oh, but down here they do have those Shiva shells again. So they're called cat's eyes, Shiva shells, turban operculums. I think I've never seen them other than here. This is the only place I've ever managed to actually find them. I imagine they do have them closer by the beaches where I live. However, this is like just, you bend down, it's there. Like, it's awesome. They're everywhere, just those little yellow bumps. I'm actually trying to get them as big as I possibly can, just in case, I don't know, maybe I'll make something, I don't know, or my husband, have him make something out of those little Shiva shells. But still just really fun. Oh, there's those rocks I was talking about. So yeah, it's very, very rocky. Probably seemed like a good idea at the time to bring in all that rubble. Oh, a little fighting conch. So that is a juvenile. Oh, somebody tried to drill into that juvenile Florida fighting conch, but they were thwarted by the thick shell. Okay, here's a Florida prickly cockle. Is it going to be absolutely awesome? Ooh, yeah, it's pretty. Kind of like a cranberry color. I like that. A Florida prickly cockle. Oh, that's a pretty little bay scallop. I'm liking that the line on that scallop. Oh, something tiny. Yep, Shiva shell. Shocking, I know. That one's actually not in great shape. They're everywhere though, see them? It was very, I kind of get distracted, like would just see so many and I kind of felt compelled to like start picking them up. I just think that this is such a fun beach to come collect things. Now, something else you might find here is druzy quartz. And I didn't know if this would, because things when they're wet, they kind of shimmer. So I wasn't sure if there was anything to this little piece. So I did put that in my bag. And we will revisit that at the end of the video where it's dry and I can really kind of tell what is going on with that little lump. Broad-ribbed cardita. I like them. They're usually white and another strong, like a brown color. I like when they're all kind of colored. Very nice. Broad-ribbed cardita. That one's got a good circle on it. Or a good spiral, rather. Cool. Oh, wow. That one's big, and so is that next one. Yep. Yeah, I went a little crazy because I don't get to see them. This is the only time I knew I was going to see them. It's a 3-hour drive from where I am to up here. So I figure I better make hay or collect the shells while I can, because don't know when I'm going to be coming back up here. Oh, now, oh my gosh, that's beautiful ribbed cantharus. So in the beginning of the video, I kind of asked if there was like a wonky shell I picked up. That one's really pretty. Nice markings. Looks a little beach stuff. I'll clean that up from that ribbed cantharus. Oh, a little lace murex. Terrific. That's a nice lacy one too. A little bit of color on its top. A lovely lace murex. Another star shell. At least that one's got a little bit of that star thing going on. That works for me. Lovely. Even if it's a little beat up, it's perfect when you don't have any. I like just adding, the best kind of specimen to my collection. And as I find better examples, I will switch them out. All right, that is not a lightning whelk, but they are up here, just kind of a breadcrumb. So it's possible to find them. Yeah, definitely possible to find the chestnut turbans. Anything good here? Yeah. So in between all the shots, pretty much every time I bend down, I'm pretty much picking up a chestnut turban and possibly a shiva shell while I'm at it. Okay, oh, there's more of those rocks. And I do have to admit, traversing this was not easy. And so you could either walk on the beach, which, you could. And I really wanted to be in the water just in case there was shells or something. So I did opt to kind of walk through the water, which you could do. We knew that the tide was coming out. If the tide was really high, you're just stuck. You got to walk on the beach. But I wanted to see, just in case, what else could be here? And as it turns out, it was absolutely nothing interesting. But at least I tried. So back on the sand. And I'll do that. I wander all over the place. I'm up, usually not too high in the rack line. That is, I do tend to stay in the water or on kind of the closer rack line. Nice lettered olive. Pointy, shiny, wonderful. Oh, sand dollar? Oh, well, about 75% of a sand dollar. Okay, again, just kind of telling me it's possible that's what I might find. Oh, another buttercup lucine. Okay. Oh, little one. Oh, little itty bitty one. Itty bitty lightning whelk. So I did know they could be here. Fabulous. Now notice the bottom of the tail of it. It's kind of like that brown color. Just notice, make a note of that. Channeled duck clam. Or sailor's ear, or elephant ear. It's a rather thin shell. I know if I was a little squishy creature, I think I'd want a shell that had a little more oomph to it. Like your fighting conch. Those shells definitely have some oomph. Oh, look at another drill in that. So that's a juvenile. Little drill hole. So that's how these other critters eat. They don't exactly stop at the Stop and Shop and, pick up their snail chow. What a pretty sight. Those shells hanging on the trees. Since it's so pretty, I'm going to be quiet and let you have some beach time. Okay, two more of my favorites, those Florida fighting conchs. I know they're common, and I almost feel like I have to justify it. Like, they're very common, but they're one of my favorite shells, and that's just how I roll. And I promised I was still picking up those turbans. So, did I mention it was for a lamp project? At the end of the video, I'll give you a link to that. So I did. It's one of the one of the few projects I've actually managed to complete. But I did need those turbans. And then along the way, I decided, wait a minute, I don't need them all to be perfect. And yeah, so they can be kind of okay. And I'm going to collect those too. So yeah, I was just going a little crazy with those turbans. Yay, this one's got a little bit of those little spires on them. So that, again, is a long spire star shell with a couple of those little spires. Not exactly long, but that's okay. Yellow bay scallop. Look at a pair of earrings just like that. So cute. So a lovely pair of yellow bay scallops. Okay, and here, well, that's not very smart barnacles. They went and attached themselves to a dark seraph. Not smart barnacles, but we do have a dark seraph. A beach bowl. Yes, you really could use that as a beach bowl. If you didn't bring anything to put your little operculums in, you could use one of those, but that's also known as a giant Atlantic cockle. Oh, calico scallop, you have yellow in you. I don't normally see that. Oh, that's awesome. Now, something I don't feel awesome about, frankly, is not having all the time in the world to answer everybody who reaches out to me. So for that, I do apologize. Conversely, I would like to thank my Patreons who monetarily support me every week. I know you guys are watching. Thank you so much. I can't get back to all of you. However, I'm going to let you know my Patreons, they always hear back from me. So if you're really, really desperate to get in touch with me, consider becoming a Patreon. Okay, that one has a really good spiral. I just really wanted to show you. So that's one of the ones that are more on the bigger side. Again, Shiva shell or a cat's eye. That's the part that would be facing out. So the spiral part would be facing in and that yellow part out. This is almost half of an alphabet cone. And I already knew that we could find those here because I did find one the last time I was here. Oh, yeah, can't help it. That's so fun though. Like literally every time you bend over, there's something fun here. All right, I didn't get very far. That other alphabet cone I found is right there. And then this other one. So is this the alphabet cone section maybe? Maybe, fingers crossed. We shall see. Oh, very nice. Another bay scallop. Yep, that's a lovely little shell. Now, another reason I like kind of just changing it up and going to a beach that is completely different is really just to kind of appreciate how much fun stuff is where I normally am collecting. I do have conditions like this by me as well. I call it shelling in like chocolate milk. It can be very frustrating. It's fun, but it can be frustrating as well. So I know I keep trying. Back up on the rack line. And that's okay. At least here you can see what you're finding. Oh dear. Garbage. Yes, that is not, what do they call it? Do they call it cooked? What do you call it when sea glass is done? That is not cooked. I'm putting that in my bag. That will go in the garbage. And then this rack of turbans likely, and crossbarred Venus clams. I noticed a lot of those as well. So plenty of shells here. Oh, a Florida cone. The hard knock life shell. Yep, I know you see little dots on it, but that is a Florida cone. The alphabet cones and the Florida cones, the tops are a little different. Bay scallop, lovely. Let's see. Oh, that's gonna clean up. So pretty. Yeah, the bay scallops up here are nice. Oh, I like that one too. Oh, that's nice. Now, I don't know that second one's a bay scallop. I can tell that the ribs are very different. Oh, more of the shiver shells. You can see what I mean? They were literally just everywhere. What would you do? What would you do if you went to a beach and you like almost never go there? You had all these cool little things to pick up. Would you do the same thing I did? Oh, look at them. They're literally everywhere. And then, I don't know, I still think it's fun. I'm glad that I don't live up here. Kind of feeling like I'm always going to appreciate this beach, the fact that I can drive the 3 hours and find these shiver shells and those turbans. I love it. You know what else I would love? If you happen to like this video, if you could give it a thumbs up and I don't know, maybe subscribe if you like this content, if you haven't already. And if you want to be notified, you got to hit those notification bells. Although I do release a new video every Sunday. Check out that boring turret snail. Really cool. I know it looks like an auger, but the bottom, well, actually the whole shell is very different. Yeah, it's pointy on top and bigger on the bottom, but other than that, it's actually a little bit different. The cut ribbed arc. Now those arcs are going to have that straight hinge, like your turkey wings and some of the other arcs. That straight hinge right there. That is a cut ribbed arc. One of my favorites. Don't know why, just kind of like it. And look at this lightning whelk. Now remember earlier I said the bottom of that lightning whelk, take a notice, it was kind of like a brown color. This one is too. I noticed that both of the lightning whelks I found here kind of had a brown tail. That one's beautiful though. Beautiful color. A keyhole urchin. This one's very nice. And I know I have my little container in my shell bag, so I will be putting that in my delicates container to keep it intact whilst I'm traipsing around the beach. Just the view just was beautiful. Like the state parks, because they're not going to have your condos and hotels. Gorgeous. Now I did see off in the distance there, that is a reddish egret. That's one of the only birds I can really tell because it does all this fabulous dancing around when it's hunting. Sometimes they will be white, so don't be fooled, but that is a reddish egret. Oh, wonderful. On cue, we have a sunray Venus clam and a reddish Florida fighting conch. Whoa, that's so pretty. Yep, that'll do. That's a lovely Florida fighting conch. I suspect it was the combination of that red color and then that very dark underneath color that kind of got me on that shell. And then this sunray Venus clam with the drill hole. Now, whatever critter decided to do the drilling could have had an easier time if it drilled at the opening of the clam where the clam actually opens and closes instead of going for that thicker part where the muscle is. But I guess if it gets through that, the clam is just going to open up. Whoa. All right, the husband handed me this massive olive that he managed to find. Awesome. And I guess he was busy picking up those shiver shells too, so he found them all on his own. I actually needed someone to point it out to me what they were, but he found them and was busy off collecting. Awesome. Oh, apple murex. Oh, alive apple murex. All right, my squishy friend, let's get you back closer to the water. I know the tide will be coming in at some point, but still. There you go. Much better. I feel better about that. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it was going to be a rose petal talon. We got ourselves a little coquina. A little bit of a pink shell. Very pretty. Oh, would you look at that? Our Cinctura hunteria. Our banded tulip. Or rookie shell. Yep, lovely banded tulip. Oh, sunray Venus clam. See, now that drill decided to not go for the thicker part on top. Kind of went through the center of the shell. But that's a sunray Venus clam. Oh, a snowy egret. I was trying to explain to him, I am not a fisherman. These birds typically kind of follow people who are fishing. I'm not fishing. I'm really sorry. Somebody maybe else is. Good luck. Good luck finding somebody else to hang out with. I've got nothing for you. I do have some chestnut turbans. More birds looking for snacks. And like I said, the view is just stunning. It is a beautiful park, Honeymoon Island. What are you, you cute little sort of drill thing, you? Oh, I see. You're home to an itsy bitsy hermit crab. Oh, look at the little claws. Oh, it's so cute. Maybe that's a mauve mouth drill, because it is a drill. What do you think? Eastern drill? I don't know. Still, yeah, I don't have my drills down yet. Oh, is it a Shiva shell? Yeah, well, while I'm here. Ooh, it's very spirally. Awesome. Oh dear, very slippery. Oh no, fighting conch, okay. So picked it up and there was an inhabitant. So if you do pick up a shell and the critter is not done with the shell, trust me, you don't want to take it home anyway. It's not cool and they stink. That is a common nutmeg, a rather beat up little nutmeg, but the stories that little shell could tell. Neato, neat little nutmeg. Oh, would you look at that? A Morton's egg cockle. Wow. I don't know that I've ever seen one quite that yellow. The color on that's really awesome. And then another long spire star shell. Say that 10 times quick. Oh, a little bit of spires though. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to collect that. Yep. Actually, all of them except maybe that one. I'm going to take them all. Look at this place. It's gorgeous. Yep, so this is what Honeymoon Island at the beginning of October looks like. Because this was shot at the beginning of October. That is an alternate tell-in. Nice. Kind of like a giant rose petal tell-in that's white with striations. All right, it's nothing like that. It's really just a alternate tell-in. That is a Sunray Venus clam that just has really cool markings. And that umbro drill. It's like already ready for like a necklace. You just hang that. Gorgeous. Now there's long spire star shell without its top still. Every one of them is beat up. That's all right. Anybody else ever managed to find a good one here? Raise your hand. Leave me a comment below. Have you done that? Oh, yeah, that one's a nice one. That's a pretty nice looking turban. I was really hoping for one of those orange ones. They do have the, like the horse conchs get that orange color. Some of the turbans do too, but I did not find one. All right, that star shell I'm probably not going to keep. That turban, probably definitely am. Another Florida cone. That one's okay. That's in pretty good shape. Maybe a little bit bleached out. The color's all there though. So that is a Florida cone. And sometimes I will start chatting with other people on the beach. This gentleman had found this lump, had a ton of branch coral in it. And he was super excited about that big lump there with all that branch coral in it. But what was really kind of cool is he kind of knew his rocks and stuff. And so he had collected a bunch of that druzy quartz. Now, yeah, there it is. That's the druzy. And then I'm going to point to it again because there's cross sections again of the branch coral on, yep, right there. But just really neat. So I ran into this guy, I told him I can tell him about seashells. I don't know a thing about these rocks. And he showed me this. So that's druzy quartz, all that sparkly stuff. Isn't that gorgeous? I will never cease to be amazed at all of the cool things that can be found just out in nature. We have a little American oyster catcher bird right there. And so that will conclude my trip to Honeymoon Island. We got all the turbans we came for. It was pretty awesome. Check out these shells. I have never seen that kind of shell on the beach before. Totally weird. So garbage. It didn't even record that one little piece of glass. So I got it off the beach. I feel better about that. And my little lump was literally just a lump of rock. I don't know what it was. There was none of that amazing druzy quartz in there, but at least I knew enough to check. So whatever, I got an extra rock. So the scallops were pretty good, I have to admit. I'm loving the yellows. I picked up a lot of those. A couple of those Florida fighting conchs as well. Some Sunray Venus clams, jingles on top there, buttercup lucine, the sand dollars, some of those Florida prickly cockles, the giant Atlantic cockles, the alternate talon, one apple murex, one lace murex, some moon snails, some ribcanthus, I think that's a weird ribcanthus, some augurs, a turd snail, Morton's egg cockle, the one banded tulip, some Florida cones, some there's nutmeg on top there, the long spired star shells, couple of those olives, and then the main attraction. In my opinion, that's what I came for, those turbans. Now, I did ultimately use those turbans to fill a lamp. And if you haven't seen that particular video, You can watch that next if you feel so inclined. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Next week we're going to Kais. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.